Hi, I'm Kesten Rono, and today is day 196 of A Course in Miracles. Thank you for being here, considering seeing light differently. Reviewing principle 46. The Holy Spirit is the highest communication medium. Miracles do not involve this type of communication because they are temporary communication devices. When you return to your original form of communication with God by direct revelation, the need for miracles is over. The Holy Spirit, capital H, capital S, the Holy Spirit is the highest communication medium. Miracles do not involve this type of communication because they are temporary communication devices. When you return to your original form of communication with God by direct revelation, the need for miracles is over. Okay? Miracles are temporary, a window and a reflection to see life differently, to offer yourself and others forgiveness, to know peace, to find salvation and grace. The Holy Spirit is the highest communication medium. When we are finished with miracles, which feels like it overlaps with time itself, that time is a teaching device that ends when the learning is done. When we are complete with the need for miracles to see life differently, we return to God, our original form of communication with God by direct revelation. The Holy Spirit is the highest communication medium. We may infer then that to be aligned with the Holy Spirit, to see truth for truth, an illusion for illusion, and simply accept it as so, to align with the Holy Spirit and see life this way, is to be in direct communication with God. So may we accept whatever is true and be curious about what we notice along the way. Love is the way I walk in gratitude. Lesson 196. It can be but myself I crucify. Please repeat this idea. It can be but myself I crucify. I suppose that is, we can only attack ourselves in the end. It can be but myself I crucify. When this is firmly understood and kept in full awareness, you will not attempt to harm yourself, nor make your body slave to vengeance. You will not attack yourself, and you will realize that to attack another is but to attack yourself. You will be free of the insane belief that to attack a brother saves yourself, and you will understand his safety is your own, and in his healing, you are healed. Perhaps at first you will not understand how mercy, limitless and with all things held in its sure protection, can be found in the idea we practice for today. Mercy, limitless, and with all things held in its sure protection. That mercy is sure protection. It may, in fact, appear to be a sign that punishment can never be escaped because the ego, under what it sees as threat, love, God, is quick to cite the truth to save its lies. Yet must it fail to understand the truth it uses thus. But you can learn to see these foolish applications and deny the meaning they appear to have. Thus, do you also teach your mind that you are not an ego, For the ways in which the ego would distort the truth will not deceive you longer, and you will not believe you are a body to be crucified, and you will see within today's idea the light of resurrection, looking past all thoughts of crucifixion and of death to thoughts of liberation and of life. You will not believe you are a body to be crucified. And you will see within today's idea the light of resurrection, looking past all thoughts of crucifixion and death to thoughts of liberation and of life. It can be but myself I crucify. Today's idea is one step we take in leading us from bondage to the state of perfect freedom. Let us take this step today, that we may quickly go the way salvation shows us, taking every step in its appointed sequence, as the mind relinquishes its burdens one by one. It is not time we need for this, it is but willingness. Willingness. It is not time we need for this, it is but willingness. For what would seem to need 1,000 years can easily be done in just one instant by the grace of God. We are one instant's space from timelessness. I remember reading. The dreary, hopeless thought that you can make attacks on others and escape yourself has nailed you to the cross. That you can make attacks on others and escape yourself has nailed you to the cross. Perhaps it seemed to be salvation, yet it merely stood for what the belief, the fear of God is real. It merely stood for the belief, the fear of God is real. And what is that but hell? Who could believe his father, his deadly enemy, separate from him and waiting to destroy his life and blot him from the universe without fear of hell upon his heart? Yes, who could believe his father is his deadly enemy, separate from him and waiting to destroy his life and blot him from the universe without fear of hell upon his heart? Such is the form of madness you believe. If you accept the fearful thought, you can attack another and be free yourself. God is that without opposite. So is love. So is the truth. If we find ourselves in opposition to something, we are not experiencing wholeness, certainly not mercy, gratitude, or freedom. If you accept the fearful thought, you can attack another and be free yourself. This is madness. Until this form is changed, there is no hope. Until you see that this, at least, must be entirely impossible, how could there be escape? The fear of God is real to anyone who thinks this thought is true, and he will not perceive its foolishness, or even see that it is there, so that it would be possible to question it. So let's question it. If you attack someone, you create attack in the world. If you attack someone, you believe that you have something desperately to defend. I can relate. And you set aside all of the ways that you may be noticing, only focused on what you believe you are noticing and its hellishness. To question it at all, its form must first be changed, at least as much as will permit fear of retaliation to abate, and the responsibility returned to some extent to you. So, can you find a way through here that to fight does not create peace for yourself? Perhaps then you can at least turn the other cheek and walk away. From there, you can at least consider if what you want to go along, if if you want to go along this painful path. Until this shift has been accomplished, you cannot perceive that it is but your thoughts that bring you fear, and your deliverance depends on you. Our thoughts bring us fear. Therefore, our deliverance depends on ourselves. This is a responsibility, but a beautiful opportunity. Our next steps will be easy if you take this one today. From there, we go ahead quite rapidly, for once you understand it is impossible that you be hurt except by your own thoughts, the fear of God must disappear. You cannot then believe that fear is cause without, and God, whom you had thought to banish, can be welcomed back within the holy mind he never left. Yes, what could you be afraid of feeling? What feeling, sitting with what feeling, could truly cause you harm? And what is there to notice that in feeling there is more peace and understanding and freedom? Salvation's song can certainly be heard in the idea we practice for today. If it can be but you crucify, you did not hurt the world, and need not fear its vengeance and pursuit, nor need you hide in terror from the deadly fear of God projection hides behind. The thing you dread the most is your salvation. If you are afraid and believing that you have ruined yourself by hurting someone or something in the world, do you really want to live in this form of hell? The thing you dread the most is your salvation. You are strong, and it is strength you want, and you are free and glad of freedom. You have sought to be both weak and bound, because you feared your strength and freedom. Yet salvation lies in them. This is true for me. There is an instant in which terror seems to grip your mind so wholly that escape appears quite hopeless. When you realize once and for all that it is you fear, the mind perceives itself as split. And this had been concealed while you believed attack could be directed outward and returned from outside to within. It seemed to be an enemy outside you had feared, and thus a god outside yourself became your mortal enemy, the source of fear. No idea may leave its source. Fear is afraid, and if you wear it, you are afraid. Now, for an instant, is a murderer perceived within you, eager for your death, intent on plotting punishment for you until the time when it can kill at last. Yet in this instant is the time as well in which salvation comes, for fear of God has disappeared, and you can call on him to save you from illusions by his love, calling him Father and yourself his Son. Pray that the instant may be soon, today. Step back from fear and make advance to love. This book has been telling us that what it is that we are curious about seeing, light, whatever it is that awakening is, salvation, love, peace, all of it is on the other side of some darkness, some set of illusions, which are really not there at all. They're illusions. And we live in this cloud. Well, we hold this cloud up to the light of truth. Do you really want to feel this way? Do you really believe that punishment is peace? What are you so afraid of? Perhaps you are afraid of this salvation you may find in seeing your own innocence. Where is it? It's on the other side of that which you do not want to encounter, the depth of your fear. Your fear is not out there, it is inside. All of it is the same. Sit quietly, somewhere you know you are safe physically, and allow yourself to be immersed in the idea which you fear most. What can you be afraid of feeling if you know feeling is just in your mind? You are not where you imagine that fear originates. It is not outside of you. It cannot be. It is inside of you, and you breathe life into it and carry it with you every day. Simply ask yourself, what is this really? And let the event or idea in all of its horror wash over you. You will find that you are still in that room, safe, that that idea is not there, it never is, and that where it has moved is from without you to within you. And now you may breathe and remember, love is the way you walk in gratitude. And you may be grateful for the realization that this thing that you've been afraid of is just your own idea within you. Now, for an instant, is a murderer perceived within you, eager for your death, intent on plotting punishment for you until the time when it can kill at last. Yet in this instant is the time as well in which salvation comes. For fear of God has disappeared, and you can call on him to save you from illusions by his love, calling him Father and you his Son. Pray that the instant may be soon, today. Call upon the instant. Step back from fear and make advance to love. Once you are immersed in the idea which you believe must be so real, and so you allow it to feel real in its fullest depth, as you sit calmly, weep, call on God. When you call on God, where are you calling? Within yourself, of course. There is no thought of God, capital T. There is no thought of God that does not go with you to help you reach that instant and to go beyond it quickly, surely, and forever. When the fear of God is gone, there are no obstacles that still remain between you and the holy peace of God. How kind and merciful is the idea we practice. Give it welcome, as you should, for it is your release. It is indeed but your mind can try to crucify. It is indeed but you, your mind, can try to crucify. Yet your redemption, too, will come from you. No idea may leave its source. Any idea or expression of it you are feeling is yours, and you may look directly at it safely. And you may call on the idea of God and infinite love and help and assuredness to know that now is where you will always be. But if you need to think it, that the past is okay and the future will be okay. That you can call on God then, now, and ask for guidance and simply listen, because there is no message of feeling you need to fear. This is your opportunity and your responsibility. There is no thought of God that does not go with you to help you reach that instant and to go beyond it quickly, surely, and forever. When the fear of God is gone, there are no obstacles that still remain between you and the holy peace of God. How kind and merciful is the idea we practice. Give it welcome, as you should, for it is your release. It is indeed but you, your mind, can try to crucify. Yet your redemption, too, will come from you. It can be but myself I crucify. Love is the way I walk in gratitude. I am Kesten Rono, and I want to see in the highest form of communication. I accept the idea of the Holy Spirit, and may truth be simply truth to me. And may I have gratitude for everything I feel and everything I let go. See you tomorrow.